happy Saturday. It's Joanne from Margaritaville, and I have been threatening to get this project done for a few weeks now. So what I have here is a just under 12-inch round. I have painted the round going from light to dark. Essentially what I'm trying to come across with is the feeling of snow to a dark winter sky. So I'm trying to get a winter sky effect. I'm going to be painting, this is one of the stencils from our S0866 series, our small Christmas script combos. And I'm going to decoupage this snow globe on the bottom. And then to accent my sky, I also have some snowflakes and potentially a couple of sparkles that I might, stars, sparkles, add in. So let's get going. I should probably just throw a piece of tape down. So what I like to do with my stencils is I do what is called a hinge effect. So I put just a small piece of tape to hold it in position. So we'll put that there. But I can check my progress at any time by lifting my stencil. The rest of the stencil is good and sturdy. It doesn't need any more tape. If you are concerned with bleed, you can always use some form of stencil adhesive, but I don't use stencil adhesive. So today I'm just going to paint directly here with this hinge effect. I am using Fusion French eggshell. I've got Victorian lace for the snow, and I may bring in some cashmere at some point. I've just put that on my tray just in case. So let's get going. So I load my brush with the paint, and then I offload. You can also use, you want your brush to be dry. So I have a paper towel. I swirl my brush on there. The brush, sometimes you'll feel like it's too dry, but that is perfect. My motto is you can always come back and add more paint, but it's harder to get rid of the effect of too much paint or if the paint bleeds under the stencil. So let's get going. Now I stencil two ways. I swirl, as you see here, but sometimes I'll tap. It's going to depend on the medium I'm going on to and the effect I'm going for. Guess my angle wasn't great there. But you see how far this paint is going with one load of the brush? And you saw how much I took off. So it goes a long way. You'd be surprised, and you do not need a lot of paint. What I like, and I might have preferred this with even less paint. I like to say I like the effect where it looks like it's been lightly airbrushed. But let's lift this up and see our progress. See, even here, I had too much paint there. But here's what I'm going to do. I am going to take, let's say a tiny bit of cashmere here. Load it on my small brush. And I'm just going to go around, let's say the top of some letters and just kind of tap a lighter color. Maybe get a bit of like a frosted kind of look. Add a tiny bit of dimension. Okay, let's lift that again and see how that looks. Oh, I kind of like that effect. It almost looks like there is some snow or frost on the letters. I might add a tiny bit more of that effect. Now, my biggest fault is sometimes I go too far. I'm like, oh, it needs a little more. And then I realize I do a little too much. So I have to hold myself back on that. But I think this is kind of a fun effect for the letters. So let's take a look. Yeah, I like that. So I'm good. I'm going to remove my stencil now. Now I want to come in and, I wish I'd picked a little bit of a metallic or something. Let's add some snow first. And I'm going to go probably with just some of these smaller items. Maybe I'll add one large snowflake. I don't know. I haven't fully decided. This is one I haven't really planned out. I'm going to add some Victorian lace. So I'm going to go with a white. And I'm offloading. Now with this, I'm going to... No, I'll swirl. And I'm just going to fill in as I see needs. Maybe a little bit in here. Oops. Sometimes if you go too fast, your stencil moves. Let's go up here. But you can again see I barely loaded much paint on my brush. And this paint goes a long way. Maybe I'll throw one big snowflake in. No rhyme or reason on how I'm doing this. I just keep looking at what I've got and decide what I'm going to add in. I need to leave room for a star or two. But let's come over here. Oops. You can see I'm getting a little bit low, but I don't mind that look of being a little bit less paint because it almost looks like it's fading out in the sky a little bit. This is a little bit different for me to just be free stenciling in location. I always, I have this, always want to plan things out, make sure everything's going to fit just so. But it's kind of fun, just going along, filling in the space as you need. And the nice thing is with these, you kind of adapt as you go. So I maybe also put a tiny bit down here, but I am going to be putting my snow globe on there, which I will be decoupaging on there. So I'm pretty happy with that. I did want to put a couple of stars. You know what I'm going to do with the stars is I am going to, I should have brought out like a silver or something. I'm going to mix some of my French eggshell with the white. I'm going to come over here and mix some of that together. Now, my inclination was to go yellow on this, but I didn't dispense any yellow, so I'm just going to use a little bit of a light blue. So I've got that. Let's go a couple over here. It's probably just going to look like more snowflakes. If I had done it in a pale yellow, it might have stood out as something a little different, but I don't mind how that's kind of coming together. Maybe I'll just go with one tiny bit more up here. There. Okay, I'm happy with the way that is coming together. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to decoupage this little snow globe down the bottom. Excuse me. And the brush I normally use for my decoupage is not here. It must be inside being cleaned. Okay. I am going to just kind of put some on the area here where the snow globe is going. Just so I've got my base down. Oh, I think I'm pretty happy with the way that's coming together. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put the decoupage over top. And you know what? I haven't put enough underneath the edges here. I've gone very light with the decoupage, and that probably is not enough. Now, I've printed out and cut this snow globe myself. It is an inkjet printout, but because I have printed this on photo paper, the inks do not run. So typically, if you just go on regular paper with inkjet, your ink will run when you apply. Let's see if this will. I may need a little bit more there. As you can tell, I have not done a lot of decoupage, but I just wanted to be able to bring some printed image to, as I say, I am new. Well, not new. I just haven't done a lot of decoupage. Now, probably my best bet will be to do a full surface coat of this decoupage medium so that everything is looking like it's got a common finish. I will take a photo of this later with it hanging up. And so far, I'm pretty happy with the way this turned out. I have another project that I'm going to be working on with that old Christmas tree, so I will share that with you also.